All right, we are live today with Amy from Bella Restaurant, Laura from the Women's and Children's Alliance. Eric, what do you do?
Street Shield Self-Defense. I'm a martial arts instructor.
Yep.
When we provide women's self-defense instruction right now virtually.
All right, so Amy, start out by telling us a little bit about how this cause is close to your heart and the things you want to do as a local business to help a nonprofit that at this time is probably the most important thing that can do to help women and children. So, Amy.
So when Eric and I started Street Shield Self-Defense in the fall, one of the first things I was trying to think of is what can I do with my restaurant that I also own to benefit these organizations. And the most obvious thing to do was to use it as a platform for raising money. And I had already planned on doing that this spring, and then when the shutdown hit, all those plans sort of went by the wayside. I follow on Facebook the Women and Children's Alliance, and I've been seeing that they've been doing all this work throughout the shutdown. And then a couple of weeks ago, they posted that they were having virtual fundraisers because all the in-person things have been canceled. And I thought, well, we're still running the restaurant. Our dining room is closed, as you can see behind me, but we're still running the restaurant through takeout and deliveries. So it seemed like the easiest thing we could do was just choose a day and give 20% of our sales to the Women's and Children's Alliance for that day. And that's going to be on Wednesday and tomorrow as we're recording this. But this is a relationship that I want to continue throughout the year and indefinitely, really. Because Eric and I went to see what we can do to continue to help. We teach self-defense, women's self-defense, and we have skills, and we want to continue this relationship. So this is not going to be a fundraiser that's just one and done. This is the beginning of a relationship.
Laura, tell us a little bit more what goes on over there and what your needs are and how we can help.
Yeah, absolutely. So the Women's and Children's Alliance is very busy still. I think, one of the biggest things that we do, so our mission is to bring safety, healing, and freedom from domestic abuse and sexual assault. And so, unfortunately, during this time, when we've had, stay-at-home orders, and now obviously we're in a phased return to normality, for some people, home isn't safe. It's not safe for everyone. And so we have found that during this time specifically, need for our services has increased drastically. So one of the figures that I will share is, a key part of our service. We do lots of different things. We have community-based service. We have clinicians available for counseling. We have financial empowerment. And of course, we have our two shelters that are open. And we found particularly our helpline. So we have a domestic abuse helpline, and I will share that number shortly, which is open 24 hours a day. And that helpline actually, so in April of 2019, we saw 125 calls to that line, but in April of 2020, we've actually seen 285 calls. And so obviously that's a significant increase. And those are people that are specifically looking for help and advice during this time. And I think the other thing that I will share with you too, that we're definitely finding that the intensity, and the frequency of people's experience with domestic abuse in their homes is increasing. And because of that, we're seeing that there's been a higher rate of people actually coming and needing to be emergency intakes in our shelters. And so previously, we've actually only had one emergency intake every quarter, so every 3 months. But in the past 5 weeks, we've seen one intake every single week. So that's a significant increase. And, I think it does shine a light on some of the things that are going on in people's homes specifically. So we're still open, we're still providing our services. And I think one of the key things is that our services have been uninterrupted. So we've obviously changed our models and the way that we interact with people, but we're still very much open and here for people that need us. And that's the biggest, one of the greatest things about partnerships, is that the visibility of our organization is increased. And so obviously we haven't been able to do events, we haven't been able to be out with the public. And so, being able to have fundraisers like this and just have our brand and our message shared that we are open is super, super important to us.
So basically you've been doing more work with less money.
Yes.
So that's where I'm trying to help.
Yeah. And that is effectively what's been happening. Obviously, this pandemic has impacted our donors and people that we work with in different ways. And so, we have had less money coming in, but on top of that, we've also had additional costs. So things like PPE equipment, we hazard pay, but importantly, like I said, we've had uninterrupted services, and that's involved, having to invest in webcams, in, platforms that are HIPAA compliant, all of which have additional costs to them too. So we have more people to work with, and a greater need.
Eric, tell a little bit about what you can do and the how you can help women and children and today's environment.
Mm-hmm.
Normally, we're giving self-defense classes in person. And these self-defense classes are really designed to help women become more safe and be able to deal with any kind of possible physical or even non-physical confrontation going forward. But of course, with the shutdown and in-person meeting not being the case, we're going to begin producing videos here next week to help people with specifically primarily soft skills and tactics, which is a very important thing to understand. That just understanding the options that you have available to you and where boundaries can be placed to help prevent things from escalating and how to de-escalate. These are really useful life skills that we're hoping will become more and more useful going forward. So we're going to have more videos on that. And then once things open back up, we'll have classes going down at the Y and over at the Idaho Martial Arts Center in Eagle.
Nice.
But in the meantime, we're here to try to help raise money through Bella's restaurant and to raise awareness of the increased need. Because I tell you, with the greater financial stresses that are out there, bad situations, even kind of bad situations, are turning into emergency situations right now.
And I've been down to Women's Children Alliance. I really love it. The pictures on the wall with the kids doing the drawings. I don't remember if yours was the shoe thing where they put something in a shoe in case they need to get away real fast. But
right here,
not being able to tour down. There you go. And because sometimes they have to leave in the middle of the night. Sometimes they don't know what to do. You guys are there, and there's so much. Thank goodness you are. And it's not just women; it's also men too. That was one of the things I learned too, is men get abused too, and have been in situations. So the balance of the community and businesses like this being able to help you out, that's one way. They can also go to your website too. Can't they make donations that direction? It's amazing, our community. The more people are aware of something, and we have a very good community here, they will help donate. They will do. We just have to tell them more about it. So, and Amy, I commend you on what you're doing, and you're going to do it every month.
Yeah. So the second Wednesday of every month, I want to do something to help raise money for the Women's and Children's Alliance. So for this month, it'll be the 20% of our sales. Next month, I'm thinking maybe 10%. Plus, we'll do a wine raffle and do more things like that. As physical distancing gets relaxed, then we can have our fun evenings where maybe do like wine flights and appetizers. If you want to come in and speak, that'd be great. Eric can come in and he and I can do some self-defense demonstrations together. And so, what's that?
We'll move the table aside.
No, he can throw me into a table. That's fine.
Hey, tables are around in real life. Got to deal with that.
Yeah, they are. And environmental fighting is it's fun. It's fun. And So yeah, we can start having fun with this. But to begin with, the restaurant is still closed until this Saturday. So this is what we can do with 20% of our sales. This is what we got.
And they can make online reservations.
Yeah, so people can order food online at our website, bellaquilarestaurant.com, and they can order food. They can schedule it to be at a certain time. So you go on to it right now and schedule it to be ready whatever time you want it to be ready. If you're within a few miles of the restaurant, I'm delivering to people who are sheltering in place. And or even somebody who just had a little too much champagne and didn't want to drive, so fine, I took food to her. So whatever it is, you know, I'm in the business of feeding people, and I want to get food to them.
Nice.
Great.
Laura, you're gonna have to come in and try it out too. So
yeah, absolutely, absolutely, and I look forward to the day when we can all meet again in person. And you know, one of our big things, like you said, is about talking to members of our community and talking about what domestic abuse and sexual assault looks like in today's world, and helping people know that we're here for them too. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I hope it's sooner rather than later that we'll all be in the same place.
Good. All right, everybody, have a great day. You made me hungry for dinner, so and I'm glad it's going to a good cause. So
yeah.
All right, everybody, have a great day, and we'll see you next time. All right.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
All right.